obviously been all over the news that Aaron Carter, I had mentioned him in a video about like him having complex PTSD, like how he, died, and most likely it was from huffing or a drug overdose of some sort. Like it was the case he was spiraling out of control, and it comes to the realization that there's just some people who you can't help. Like one thing is Aaron did recognize he had a problem. He was ultimately getting help for his problem to deal with the fact that he had lost custody of his son, who's going to turn 1 this month. Unfortunately, the problem is even though people were like begging him to seek like go for in-person treatment, he refused to do that. It's like when he was on the show The Doctors, like that was where I was really hoping he could change his life around. He kept on giving excuses to justify his wrong decisions. He kept on giving excuses to say, this is why I'm not going to go for treatment. Thankfully, he did get treatment, but unfortunately, the demons that he battled were so bad that, it's I hate to say it, it's like his death is less tragic than the end of the last years of his life. Like it was very sad to see him spiral out of control, and anybody who's kind of hating on Nick for during this time, I mean, they need to understand Nick had to set his boundaries. Nick did not feel safe. I don't know exactly like whether Nick did abuse him, like he claims he abused him, but I mean, it's very difficult to say. For example, in Lance Bass's documentary against Lou Pearlman, Aaron Carter actually sided with Lou Pearlman, which is characteristic of trauma. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. I've made a video about that, and ultimately, like it's sad that it happened so young. He was only 34, and unfortunately, addiction it's a demon. Like I mean, I have felt many times of going on drugs, but yet I've always had to understand this is a wrong thing to do. Some people like they will chase that high. They'll get high and think nothing can happen to me. They might chug a bottle of cough syrup and end up in emergency. Unfortunately, like sometimes even just calling a crisis line is better than nothing. Like sometimes talking about it is hard because it ultimately makes you have to understand that you have a problem in the first place. Like sometimes you feel like nobody would understand or give a crap about the situation, but there's always somebody who will listen, and that's why I'll say to anybody who has Netflix, like, watch the show 13 Reasons Why. It is the third time I'm watching it. I think I'm on the last episode again, but it's a wonderful show, and like ultimately, like, always seek help. Like, you are worth it.